welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of lemon champ or lucky track dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot.
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough in
Chrissy,
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
I'm Tim.
And I'm mental.
And we are short one Chrissy, but she's coming soon. But we are Everyone Racers, and welcome to a boring BMW 435 episode of our podcast. It is episode 435, and just like the BMW 435, it's actually a pretty good car. It's a turbocharged inline six, solid handling, comfortable interior, surprisingly quick, and exactly the kind of German engineering that makes commuters feel like touring car drivers on the way to Costco. But in our racing world, well, it's about as exciting as reading a lease agreement in a dentist waiting room, because no matter how objectively competent BMWs are, they somehow turn into the plain oatmeal of amateur endurance racing. Reliable-ish and predictable, but expensive as anything to fix. BMWs are often campaigned by a team who has at least one member who want to explain the actual superiority of the Vanos when they are properly maintained, while everyone else is giggling about the Del Camino. Dude, stop harshing our buzz, man. But here we are. So in honor of episode 435, we're celebrating the BMW, a car that is undeniably good at everything except being interesting.
Boring.
Boring.
Yep.
Pardon me. I had a hard time staying awake through that.
I know. Sorry. All right. Well, let's go to something more exciting, like what Mental might be working on. I have no idea what it is, but
I've started the digging holes in your backyard equivalent of flipping the ratchet to on. I've started filling in holes in the backyard.
Oh, yay.
So I'm starting to work on that. And then if you guys remember back in the days with when Jeff Wakeman would buy all the stuff from Nella's auctions.
yeah.
So I still.
What do you mean back in the day?
Yeah,
Still
You mean
listening.
yesterday?
so
Been here to tell us about it.
yeah, I got 2 surveillance cameras for like $6. They're surprisingly good because I installed them Saturday and the batteries are still charged on them. And I put one up in a tree and then one. So I installed those and put those up, and then I've been working on just some other nonsense of that nature, trying to do some paint correction on my daily driver. It is not going well.
It's a Hyundai. Just leave it alone. It doesn't know what to do with anything but neglect. That's all it knows.
Yeah. And then you have compelling argument. And then last night, the wife and I probably stayed out a little too late watching the soon-to-be Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights eke out another one against the Anaheim Ducks in overtime.
Great.
Yay. Sports.
Yep.
The holes in your backyard, were you filling them with gasoline and lighting them on fire? Is that, I hear that's a trend on the E1R.
Drilling holes and filling with oil and gasoline.
Used oil. Yep. Totally works.
Totally works. I reserve that for plant life.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Timmy, what are you doing?
Been busy. Sunday and Monday went up to basically Oregon, Arcata, to for our final match for the high school team. Really cool golf course, like going around through the giant redwoods and kind of having to navigate your way through that on the course was super fun. Beautiful drive up 101. Got back Monday night from the tournament. late, got into bed probably at midnight, and then proceeded to try to get packed and ready for the red eye on Tuesday night to get me into Maine this morning, Wednesday, at 5:30 a.m. So I'm on like 3 hours sleep right now. So might be a little punchy tonight. So we shall see. But yeah, getting things ready to open up. We're flying back home on Sunday. House looks good. The rental property looks good. The shop made it through with very few furry visitors. The garage here at the house, however, caught 9 of those suckers. So yeah, full war. Got
Nice.
6
I'm
of
up
them
to
in the
15 now. So
that good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm going to reset all the glue traps and everything else, and we're going to see if we can escalate that number in the last minute. But that doesn't count. Like, who knows how many I poisoned, because I put blocks and blocks of poison everywhere that have been chewed on. So there could be the casualty number could be much higher because they run away to try to find water once they get poisoned. So,
or they're just getting stoned, wake up with a hangover, a little pissed off at you.
Or that.
You want his Corvette
right.
now.
Yeah, not in California, you're not, homie. But speaking of the Corvette, I've been driving that around as well. Just need to like figure out what that magical General Motors sequence is to get the O2 sensor to fall into the readiness category so I can get it smogged. So I've got an appointment on Tuesday to get the AC purged and have the coolant refrigerant put back in so I can run that, because one of the things is you have to run it under full accessory load. So I need to get the AC hooked back up, because when the engine came out of the car, the system was purged properly before the motor came out. So now I have to unpurge the air that went in there when the
for the listeners at home, Tim used air quotes under purged properly.
So it was apparently it was done in Mexico, so everything was fine. So
good.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Chris Abbott?
I spent most of my time since last time we talked traveling to Wisconsin, being at Road America and judging that, and coming home. And that's about it. I haven't worked on anything else. So need to get back on that. But now that I'm home, I can do that, which is great. And you may recognize that hilarious voice in the background. Already adding comments because he knows that's the way we like it. Happy to welcome my Road America co-judge and friend of the show, Brian Trainer. Brian, what are you been working on, sir?
I have been working on building my rivalry with Donnie Petrunik. I'm going to say his name wrong on purpose just because it'll hurt him. Petronak. There we go. Suck it, Donnie. Anyway, no, so yes, I too returned from Wisconsin judging with Chris, which I'm starting to get a more complete set of E1R co-judgings. So Chrissy, I kind of got to work with her at Road Atlanta. I've judged with Tim twice before. I've judged with Chris now, and I know you're all amazing, and I'm looking forward to Mental at Road Atlanta, and we've got some shenanigans planned already. The Planigan shenanigans. But my project at home, my 84 Chevette is now a running, driving, stopping vehicle. I've taken it on a few little short trips. I drove it. We were doing our company does like a Habitat for Humanity Rock the Block cleanup day once a year, and I went to do that. And the homeowner had an 80s Monte Carlo and an 80s Cutlass Sierra S. So I pulled that Chevette in and parked with him. Like, this was meant to be. So it was beautiful. And then the other thing that is being worked on, we're putting the diesel Chevette race car back together. So the cage has been updated. It's got all new belts. It's got the new toe straps. All the electrical wiring's been redone and routed, and it's all nice and tidy. So now we just have to rebuild the engine, the small thing, and then put that back in, and we're good to go. So we're looking to race again this year. So those who can't race judge. No, that's not true. Wait.
Wait.
Wait a minute.
Wait, no, those who can race judge. That's what it is.
There it is.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
Chrissy's
don't
not
you
here.
let Donnie Patrolneck get you down anymore.
Sure. Hey, that Danny's not a bad guy. Don't worry about it. Good at math, I hear.
He's
Dante's
like furiously burning up a keyboard somewhere when he hears this. Yeah.
Dante's a better guy than people give him credit for.
Yep. So it's news and notes time. Chrissy's not here, so someone's got to do it.
That's right.
Hey, if you listen to this podcast, there's a strong chance you are a creative problem solver or an insomniac. Our entire hobby is based on an idea that the best racing minds aren't always found in $1 million shops. They're found in the garages, barns, backyards, and gravel driveways with a welder, a pile of scrap, and an idea that refuses to die, even if it should. Caleb Jacobs at the Drive tells us about one such fellow named Frank, a proud builder and collector who loves Cub Cadet tractors. So much, and in fact, he's turned several old Cub Cadet lawn tractors that were headed into the junk pile into a fleet of fully functional machines. Not just his lawn tractors, he's made a bulldozer, a road grader, a forklift, even a 4x4 articulating dump truck. All this through a whole lot of trial, error, and creative engineering. He modified dual transmissions so the homemade dozer could spin in place, reworked drivetrains to create custom hydraulic setups or systems, and scrapped ideas that didn't work. The article talks about a failed CV joint setup, for example. That's this whole hobby in a nutshell. Not having the perfect parts, but solving problems with ingenuity, stubbornness, whatever you have sitting around, and alcohol. Frank is proof. Creativity is horsepower money can't buy.
The tracked one is really cool. That bulldozer is, Now he just needs to put a cage around it and make it into that, what was that apocalyptic dozer the guy used to drive through the city building? Killdozer?
Killdozer.
A friend of mine gave me a bumper sticker so that I would rather be in Colorado quietly modifying my 84 whatever brand bulldozer that was.
He's got Kill Tractor. Yeah, that sounds like a band from the 90s. Welcome to Kill Tractor.
Yeah.
That's a great band name.
This is like a thing you do when, it's wintertime and I don't particularly like my family. So I'm going to hang out in the garage and make tractor abomination things because why not?
I retired and my wife doesn't want me in the house. So, And
I don't hate my family enough to take up ice fishing, but I need something to do to stay out of the garage.
Well, speaking of being a big threat, GM just proved that the biggest threat to your driving record isn't a ticket, but it's your own dash. Andrew Collins at The Drive has details on a $12.75 million penalty for secretly playing Big Brother and selling your driving data to brokers. We covered this last year. It seems while you were thinking it was just a spirited on-ramp pull in your modern Chevy, well, OnStar was quietly taking notes like a corporate hall monitor. The General has been selling your hard braking and acceleration habits to insurance companies so they could aggressively hike your premiums. The absolutely most infuriating part, that the $12.75 million fine is basically the equivalent of a nominal subscription fee for being snitches. It's hilariously dystopian that you can spend 60 grand on a new truck only for it to turn around and rat you out to the Lexus Nexus because you had the audacity to brake hard for a yellow light. So for all the people in your life who wonder about your obsessions over analog V8s, manual roll-down windows, or a chassis built before the invention of the smartphone, well, you can tell them, and foil hats, you can tell them that this is exactly why. You can keep your Wi-Fi enabled, touchscreen heavy, rolling surveillance states. I'll be over here DDing my supercharged Corvette. It might leak a little fluid, but at least it's got the common decency to keep its mouth shut about my driving habits and my right foot.
Indeed.
Right.
Did we lose Brian? Is he gigablasting?
Snitches. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Your internet connection is unstable. Yeah.
He was all posted up like this, like, I'm going to kick your ass, Seabass.
Like he was that offended that GM is selling his driving.
I was very hurt by that. That's for sure. It's weird because it's like the dystopian future that I wanted from the Rise of the Machines was a little more Terminator. And instead we're going to triple your insurance premium. I'm like, oh man, can't I just fight the robot?
Where are the lasers?
Yeah.
Don't have a jetpack.
Can I just do pull-ups until I'm jacked? Let's go.
Speaking of dystopian futures, the Autopian has some more news. Grab a Corona and gather the family. Because Hollywood has officially proven that they will never, ever, 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 ever let a dead horse lie. The Fast and Furious franchise is now officially going to be a TV show. Why do you keep resetting to that, you stupid? There we go.
TV, no shit.
Because apparently 11 movies, a spinoff, aggressively defying every known law of thermodynamics and physics and motion, isn't enough to milk this cash cow dry. Remember back in the day when this whole franchise was about like the underglow overnighting parts from Japan and just stealing Panasonic DVD players and Honda Civics? Yeah, forget about that. Now we're going to get a weekly episodic drama where Dominic Toretto uses a Dodge Charger to hack a nuclear submarine from, low Earth orbit while furiously upshifting his 15-speed transmission. Universal's basically realized the franchise is simply too valuable to kill off, which means they're going to drag this thing out longer than that weekend Miata build your buddies had on jack stand since 2018. It is a bit hilarious to think how they're going to stretch this into a TV show. You think we're going to get like a 3-episode arc that covers a single slow motion quarter-mile run? Or, at this point, the only thing less realistic than the car stunts is the idea that any of these characters actually know how to read a torque spec. So while Hollywood keeps greenlighting endless seasons of NOS-injected superheroes soap operas where danger to manifold is treated like a mild suggestion, I'm going to be out in the garage trying to figure out why my crap ain't working right, because unlike Fast and Furious, my project cars really do know how to die.
It's going to be great to watch Dominic drive around in an electric Charger.
Yeah. They've actually started putting gas motors in them because they're not selling in the new Charger.
Weird.
The Charger buyer.
Yeah. They did mention, though, that they're finally releasing the next version. I think the 12th movie in this one, if you haven't seen the last Fast one with Jason Momoa, I especially if you can do it without paying for it, watch it, because Jason Momoa has taken the entire concept of what the villain is supposed to be and act like and just thrown it out the window. And he's not out there trying to out butch Vin Diesel. He's like just flamboyant as all can get out and hilarious at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that Hollywood was like, it's like Jay Lamb with the wrap-up videos. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, because it's like never let physics get in the way of a good car movie.
No.
It's like the A-Team movie with Bradley Cooper where they were flying a tank.
Yeah.
Like that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Just
I mean, let's go back to the original premise. Let's spend $18,000 to modify a Honda Civic and then do that 3 times, and we'll make all this money back.
Yeah.
By stealing, poorly made imported DVD players.
Yeah.
It'll be
It's
fun.
like they stole the plot from the first season of The Sopranos. It's like, hey, we got this truck full of DVD players.
Hey,
yeah, that's a good
truck.
idea.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Who's
what
this guy
in this?
Who's this guy in the Civic over here?
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're risking their lives being shot by truckers, and GM's just making millions and millions and millions. Even after the lawsuit, they're like net positive $8 million on that.
Jeez, Pete.
Worst timeline.
Yeah, junk. It's just a junky series. But you know what else is junky?
Tell us, Tim.
It's racing junky. And it's
Good
time.
junk.
It's time to show me your junk.
Show me your junk.
So, what we have here is a 2001 PT Cruiser, a proper Lemons Chariot with proper cheapskate ad. Yep, that's right. 3 pictures, bro. spring for the VIP membership. It's really not that bad. It's done 2 races, most recently in Oklahoma on May 2nd. It's an automatic, but the cage passed tech. Did they blow a head gasket? Yes. Will it drive? So they claim. But from the ad, it's selling at 2 price points. One with all of the upgrades we made and one without. With upgrades, $3,500. I'm sure that's negotiable, which includes 15-inch wheels with Hankook RS4 tires. That's 6 of those. Coilovers, rear suspension, race seat, fire suppression, kill switch belts, slotted rotors, tuning chip, spare stock rotors, stock suspension, stock wheels. Without the upgrades, it's only $1,500. That gets you stock wheels, still 6, stock suspension, front and rear, belts, kill switch. They only posted these 3 picks, but they do have a Google Drive with more picks. And check them out because it looks awesome.
Yeah, this
Can you
is a
switch
proper
those slotted
Lawrence
rotors.
chariot.
Yeah.
That's a Class C car all day at any track.
All day.
No matter what.
Even with those pink suspension parts. Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, man. If you're going to do coilovers, you might as well highlight them in highlighter pink.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Dude, you could LS swap this thing. I'm still putting it in Class C. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
You heard that. Buy this car, LS swap it, bring it to Road Atlanta. Mental will put you in C.
I'll stand by that. Sure. Email us.
That's
Get a
right.
hold of us. Everyone.races. Show me pictures of you picking this thing up. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Now it's time for upcoming races, but I did not email Charlene over at Lucky Dog and get the entries for AMP this weekend. I'm sorry. That's their next race in their Southern Cup. I hope everyone is out there, has fun and is safe.
And recent results, Brian and I were at Road America. So let's go through these winners. Brian, chime in at any point.
Okay.
Overall was Patriot Race Team.
Yes.
This, you've seen this very loud, very clean, very fast S10 in the past, probably. And they were at Hallett the weekend before and came in second.
Yeah.
Turned the car around, came to Road America, and they managed to pull it together for an overall win by a lap or 2 over Tatas. I think it was just a lap.
They were
Nice.
not. Tatas was reeling them in, and they spun out with 20 minutes to go. So they were trying.
Neil wasn't in the car again, was he?
No, it was not Neil's fault.
Oh, okay. Woo!
Yeah,
He did
right?
drive this weekend, but he drove clean. He was. I could tell he brought up more than once. He's like, last time I drove this, I got a black flag and I ruined it for. He was nervous, but he totally nailed it on this one.
It was not him this time. And
Good job,
for a long
Neil.
time. For a long time, Lemonade was actually leading the race. They were actually had the fastest. I think the fastest lap of the race. And then something broke and they just put it in the trailer because it was the end of the day, Sunday. So that left it down to Patriots and Tatas. And in third behind them was Badger's RX-7, V8 RX-7, that at one point during the weekend was going down the straight. And toward the end of the straight, the vacuum of the speed sucked the back window out of their RX-7 completely. It just sucked it out into the air and it landed on the track and got run over by several people. So
Glass Lexan? What was it?
it was glass. It was the
Oh,
original
boy.
Mazda glass
boy.
rear window from an FB RX-7. And apparently there's a video of the inside of the car when this happened. And the vacuum pulled all of the crap from the floorboards and just whoosh right up in the driver's face.
It turned it into one of those Dyson clear vacuum cleaners where everything was floating around in the air.
I
The
feel
weird
like
thing-
at least half of our listeners can taste that.
Oh, Haltevirus right up into the right. up
We've all
into
been
the
driving
face.
that dusty car and you get enough speed or a crosswind. You're like, oh, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mixed
Eric
with-
shared another fun fact about Badger with us, that they were actually trying to go on time. They were trying to do fuel stops, and they were the only car to stop 3 times each day. So they were trying to stretch out their speed so that they didn't have to stop as much for fuel. But what killed them was they almost killed Joe Spears on Tech Lane. He had his hand on the car and was like, hey, you know, something's like your belt's loose or whatever. And the guy started to pull forward while Joe was still touching the car, and their wing sticks out like where your head is. And so Joe was like, wait a minute. And he yells at the guy, and the guy pulls over. And when he's like, you almost took my head off with the wing. You need to stop. He's like, okay. And the guy like pulls off again while Joe's still on the car. So they had to come in and get yelled at a little bit. And Dale got involved, and he almost got hit, by the way. So we had to send somebody back to kind of calm down and come back around. And then he went out, and they did great.
Let's find the biggest guy on staff.
Yeah.
And hit him with my wang.
Army non-commissioned. The retired Army non-commissioned guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure the wing would have dented on that, but still.
Yeah.
Man is Road America beaten to death with his own wing.
He would have pulled it off the car.
I don't think Joe would have touched him. Joe just would have had him doing push-ups till he cried.
So
God.
The A race was pretty tight. It was within a couple laps all weekend. Within maybe 5 different cars that were in contention at one point or another. So it was a good close race, which means they were classed appropriately with the right number of laps and things. So.
Yeah, and Patriot, they're a great group of guys. And somebody told me the backstory to them. They were all Bass Pro fishermen or something. Like they were really big on the circuit, and they made a bunch of money, and then they got bored with it and decided they wanted to do race cars. And they've been great spirit. Like they're always, you're like, hey guys, that's a little too much more. Oh, all right, we'll tune it down. You know, so they're pretty good dudes. It was good to see him win. Congratulations.
I was at Road Atlanta with them when they were in the lead, and they were likely going to win the race, and then got just hella rear-ended by a rookie team and took them out. And they handled it fantastic. Like huge shout out to those guys for the way that they handled that. Like they all had beers together after the race, and it was like they were like, man, we thought we'd finally won one. And it just got surprised butt sex by this rookie group.
Welcome to Lemons. Sorry. You became a Lemons racer today.
I've come close so many times.
So many times.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Now, Class B was even closer.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 cars going at the end of Class B, the one in second place was taking about 8 seconds a lap out of the leader as we're coming down. So when we're a couple laps left, there was less than a minute between them, and it really was coming down to it. And the B class car, the leader was the E30 of Adventurers Anonymous, which it's not a swapped E30, it's a stock engine one, and they have a fun old style Wizards theme that they kept in costume, and they came to costume at the awards. So like they were working it. And the B class car was a car that's had a lot of sad times at Road America too. The Gutless Cutlass 87 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. It's got an LS, but it still has an automatic, and more importantly, it still has the original chrome column shifter that is operational. So choice. And the Olds was taken bites out of the lead of the BMW to the point where we're standing there in line waiting to clap, and we're seeing which car is going to come up over the hill of Road America first.
I thought it was the Cutlass was leading because they were on the same lap pretty much all day Sunday, and the Cutlass was leading and the E30 was faster, and they passed them on the very last lap and won by 4.5 seconds or something like that. Like, it was crazy. It was a wicked close finish. I could have it backwards, but never let the truth get in the way.
Yeah. Either way, it was really close, and the E31 in the end. So real close.
I think the Cutlass was winning, and the 30 passed him at the last minute. The cool thing was that guy had he had made his own costume, that wizard costume, and it started out. There's this anime over the garden wall. Like that was their first thing that he had dressed up for, and he had made the costume in a day, but it was pretty well done. Then they just turned it into wizards, and they had an old style wand made out of old style cans, which is fantastic.
Yep.
It was good.
Class C went to Occupy Saturn. You've probably seen this Saturn SL2 with all the aero and things, but it's still a Saturn. It's still a stock motor. Like this thing, it's where else you put this? And it just never stopped running all weekend. We never saw them in penalty. It ran all the time. It beat cars the likes of a Scion TC and a variety of Crown Vics. And, we had a good solid Class C field here, but that's the one that held together. And I think it was like 18th overall in the end because it just kept running. And sometimes that's the game in Class C. Just keep running. So, and they've had a lot of heartbreak over the years, so well done to them. All right, let's see.
They won that by a lot, though. Sorry, that was it's going to be tricky. It's going to be a hard argument to not be in B after, but maybe not that hard of an argument. We'll see.
All right, org choice. This wasn't too hard. Org choice is supposed to be something ridiculous and fun. This went to Gopnik Racing, which you all might know Quincy of the double engine Focus fame from Colorado here. Well, Quincy really seems to like putting two engines in cars. So he took a late 90s Saturn SL2 with a twin cam manual in front and put in the back a single cam automatic Saturn driveline. Because that makes sense. So, so it was a 3-cam, 2 different transmissions. Makes perfect sense. So basically, this is what I have. So, I mean, this thing was completely stock looking. Otherwise, you had no idea. Down to the steel wheels and all season tires. It had never really run before it showed up at the track. But it did eventually. They ran all day Saturday on only the single cam automatic rear engine. And then because they had a clutch problem with the front engine, they fixed that Saturday night, went out Sunday and were something like 30 or 40 seconds a lap faster having both engines working than just the one.
Yeah. Their first lap out was 19 seconds faster. And then they were just absolutely cooking the other laps.
Yeah. They even had a hand throttle on the steering wheel to keep the rear engine throttle up while they were shifting the front one. Because why not?
Yeah, you have to operate the thing
seconds.
You have to operate that thing like a calliope. You're pulling levers and pushing things. You're not just driving a car.
It's a one-man
you're the man in the Wizard of Oz.
Right?
Yeah. He's one-man band.
Yeah,
it was crazy too because it died on the way to tech, and he was having a hard time getting it to start. So it was literally outside the door coming into tech at Road America, and he couldn't get in. It would start, and then it would immediately die, and he couldn't. So it took him a while, and then they got it in, they got it teched, and then they had to fix the clutch, like Chris said. It was just. They looked like those pictures of 1920s coal miners when they came to the awards, just covered in soot from head to toe. It was good stuff. Sorry.
I love the level of chaos that he brings with every build. And he's it's not like, oh, I'm going to improve on this for the next race. No, he brings something completely different.
Yeah.
Has a lot of parts commonality between the Ford Focus and the, Saturn too, makes sense.
Yeah. And the Fanchero that they had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. The heroic fix. The heroic fix and the I got screwed actually got flipped right at the end of the day because the one we thought was going to get screwed, fixed it. The one we thought was going to fix, screwed.
Yeah.
So let's start with Fix. The heroic Fix went to the League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen, including friends. Those guys are all great, and also including some friends of the show, Al Jones, Sagi. This is their Volvo 245 wagon that was the Edmund Fitzgerald theme last fall. They decided, what should we do with this car that hasn't run very well in the last couple of races? Well, we should put a Mercedes compressor supercharger on it. That makes sense. So
totally,
they ruined a perfectly reliable Volvo by putting the supercharger on it. They fought with this thing all weekend. They, at some point, fried their ECU. Sagi was making some kind of ground wire that needed resistors in it. It didn't have any, so he just strung a series of light bulbs in it because, well, that works, right?
Yeah.
So when they couldn't find it, they fried the ECU. Where do you get an 80s Volvo turbo ECU? Well, Nate Shavine happened to be there with his lifted off-road Volvo 740 sedan. So they borrowed Nate's ECU.
Did they ask Nate, or did they just?
They did.
Okay.
They kind of sort of got it working. They took 2-3 laps on Saturday. And Sagi was driving at the time, and he said, "This is too sketchy for me." And if you've met Sagi, finding something that's too sketchy for Sagi is like a bar I didn't think could be reached.
He once rode a Honda
this is
Grom
fake news.
from Pennsylvania to South Carolina with a cooler strapped on the back.
Yeah.
Full of bacon.
Full of meat. Yeah, full of meat. Yeah.
So
and don't forget the sausages. Yeah.
So then, they're working on it. Well, then Nate needed to go home. So they had to give him his ECU back so he could go home. He did. He looked for more parts, couldn't find it. Came back, had to give him the ECU back the next day. So they keep just handing off this ECU to Nate. But by the end of Sunday, they actually got it to work enough. It wasn't good, but it worked. And they went and took the last 10 laps, and that was that. So heroic fix.
Yeah. I think Nate was the one that almost killed Joe Spears. So,
Yeah. Brian, do you want to do I Got Screwed?
Nate should know better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So I got screwed. Wait, hold on. We switched.
Slow Suzuki went to
the slow Suzuki. So the Suzuki, they had an eco-swapped slow Suzuki Sidekick or whatever the heck that thing is. And they couldn't get it to work. So they're like, you know what we need? We need another engine. So they called around a bunch of junkyards, and all the junkyards were closed.
A head gasket that was blown, I think it was.
Yeah, the head gasket was blown. And they're like, all of the junkyards were closed. They couldn't find the parts that they needed, but they did find a running HHR. So they bought the entire car. I think it was beige on beige, and towed it to the track and started pulling the motor out of that to put it in the other one.
Do it. It's a terrible idea.
It's already been done. But they took that I'm like, why didn't at that point it would have been faster to cage the HHR, but they pulled the motor out of that and they worked. And I think when they were putting the motor in, they damaged something else in the transmission and had to take it apart.
The shifter fell apart, clinking pieces all over the ground. Yeah. So they got to a point where they just ran out of time on Sunday, and the weirdest part was Eric sent a video, and he panned, and all these other there was a high attrition level at this race. A lot of stuff broke, and he pans around where they're at, and everybody else is gone, and it's just them working on this Suzuki, just covered in oil. And he's like, you know what? They're giving it great guns, so they've earned something, and that's why they were going to be the heroic fix, whether or not they got that thing on the track. and then Soggy decides, let's take that Volvo out for 3 laps to catch the checkers, and Eric's like, we need to flip this, because they actually did get back on track. So there you go. I got screwed.
Heroic screwed.
Heroic screwed. They were
heroically screwed.
They tried so hard. They really did. Now, we also learned as a part of this that the track has a scrapper guy. And if you leave your heavy metal items near your trash can, just in a neat pile, brake rotors, transmissions, entire Chevy HHRs, the scrapper guy, local, who comes by, named Skeeter, of course, Skeeter will take away your scrap stuff. So
Skeeter the scrapper.
He's the what were the little guys called in Star Wars that ran around?
He's a Jawa.
The little Jawa of Road America.
Yeah. So Skeeter came by and took away that HHR on Sunday. He was probably thrilled to take that thing away. So
yeah.
Thanks, Skeeter. But this is the only place
that's hilarious.
You can leave that stuff.
They can only take oil at Pacific Raceways, no brake fluid, no antifreeze, nothing. It's on the track rules. You have to haul that out with you. Wisconsin, leave the car. Skeeter will be by later.
That's right.
Yeah.
They even said at the beginning, if you leave all your stuff out in front of the garbage cans, brake pads, whatever you want to leave out, engine blocks, they'll take it. Skeeter will come get it. So they got a guy.
I hope Skeeter got some beer out of that.
That's right. He did with the $42 he got for the HHR. So,
Good on him.
$6 in sticky change.
Totally. Who knows what you find in a beige on beige $600 HHR
in Wisconsin.
Yeah. All right. Judge's choice. This was a redemption story. Judge's choice. And this team was a brand new team. They had a 2000 Camaro. They had swapped this thing. I saw the pictures. They pulled it out of some meth head's field. They sold the broken LS1 that was in it and swapped in a truck, a 200,000 mile truck 5.3. They showed the receipt for everything, right? Okay, great. They were getting the hang of it. They tried to theme. They had the receipts. They were trying. So they go out Saturday, and they had a crime spree. Over the next hour and a half, they got 3 flags, and they were all different. We had a contact that totally mangled the wheel of the B class winning Honda Fit. They had a spin. They had a 4-off. And so we said, all right, guys, this is not going well. This is an hour and a half, and you already have 3. Well, that might be a record. So of course we saran wrapped the guy to the top of the car to go apologize to everyone because they're new. Let's make him give him some of the classics, right? 4th driver goes out, or 3rd driver, whatever it is. He goes out half an hour later, passenger yellow. So at this point, they've basically they're a pit speed away from a full house of everything we have.
Bingo,
and blowing dick check away from a royal flush.
No, at that point, I'm like, guys, and we had a chat, and I said, we got to park you. This is 4, and it's not even noon yet. So I said, come talk to me at 2:15. And it comes around, it's 1:30. They're being super nice about it. Their attitude the whole time has been great. No bitching, no whining. They get it. Okay. So I said, all right, fine. Let's do something a little more fun. Let's perk them up a little bit. So we got out the Unicorn Dreams puzzle that Tim and I bought at Walmart last year, and sat the 4 of them down in helmets and gloves and race gear and said, here you go, put this together. And that took them a while. It's a 48-piece children's puzzle, but it took them a while. But hey, it was good teamwork. And it got them out a little faster than it would have otherwise. So they got the Unicorn Dreams puzzle together. They went out, and we didn't see them again on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we didn't see them again all day Sunday until very late in the day, when one driver came in and we're like, oh, you ruined it. And he's like, my nose is bleeding and I freaked out. So, and he put his hand up under his glove and it was all bloody. So I got him a paper towel. So they went from one kind of red mist to another. Totally redeemed themselves over the course of the weekend, figured it out, got things together, cleaned up their act, great attitude, nice about it all. So judge's choice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The worst part about that puzzle penalty was when they finished, there was a piece missing.
Yeah.
So it was the ultimate torment for anyone with OCD. I was like, ugh. So, yeah.
So who was more tormented, them or you?
You know what? You don't need to target me like that, man. That's not cool.
I'm just empathizing. That's all. I'm just saying.
Hey, that looks like Chrissy.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
Chrissy.
Hey.
Oh, the sausage party's over.
Oh,
Right.
I can leave. It's fine.
No,
Sorry.
she really classes up the joint.
Occasionally.
For sure.
No, sorry. I'm coming late to the party. I have some guests at my house and was showing them around. So I apologize. Continue. I can listen from now on.
Brian, you want to talk about the regional award?
Yes. Yeah. So we got lucky this race. I don't, whether it matters or not, I'm a bit of a Pontiac fan, and we had a fair number of Pontiacs. There were Firebirds. We had the Solstice. There were a couple of Sunfires.
Two
Sunfires.
Exactly, 2 Sunfires. So now
that has to represent 30% of the remaining Sunfires in the Midwest, because the rest of them have rusted away.
Yes. Yeah. I had one. So I gave it to my son when he was driving. It's like, here's your car. And then he wrecked it. But whatever. That's what happens to Sunfires. One of the slogans for Pontiac back in the day that everybody knows was "We build excitement," or may or may not know. But the other lesser known slogan was "Designed for Action." And so we took this as a dual meaning that the Pontiac was designed for action, but also the owner of the car may have been designed for action, because the most common place to see a Pontiac Sunfire in the Midwest was an employee car parked outside a place called Bean Snappers, which is a gentleman's club in Wisconsin. It's like
Bean Snappers?
Bean Snappers.
That's what the closest one to the track we could find was called.
Did you go?
Wow.
No, we looked at it on Google Maps.
I was like, how would I miss this?
But any folk dancing establishment in the Midwest in the 2000s, you were guaranteed to see a Pontiac Sunfire outside.
Yeah.
If not a customer, certainly one of the employees.
Yes.
So the Pontiac that we liked the most, it didn't. I think there was a Firebird, or maybe the Solstice finished higher than it, but it finished. Yeah, it finished reasonably well, but it went to Beak Performance and their Pontiac Sunfire, and it was captained by Ken Bold, who helps us as paddock patrol at some Lemons races. And it's funny because you can take the paddock patroller and put him in a race car, but you can't take the paddock patroller out of him. He was like in the chat tattling on other teams that were dry. I'm like, aren't you racing this weekend? He's like 121 speeding in the paddock. I'm like, Ken, what the heck, man? But yeah, Beak Performance. And another fun fact about that was a double date, sort of. It was Ken and his girlfriend, and then his brother-in-law and I don't know if that was his sister, but it was two couples that raced all weekend, and they had an absolute blast. So,
and that was a base model push rod, like rental car spec, buy here, pay here, Pontiac Sunfire. So,
yeah. And he had to
only but the classiest.
That's right. He only had one gear for part of Saturday, but actually Ken got in and fixed it, so they had all of the gears when they finished the race.
I was going to say, which gear though?
I think it was third, so they were able to cruise around in third. Gear. So yeah,
D,
the only one you need.
D, yeah, D.
Yeah, their theme was rooks, and they had all different kinds of rooks. So like a rook is a bird, and a rook is a chess piece, and the character in some video game. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Cool.
HMG, I have to say, we had a team that won it, but we were pretty darn disappointed.
Oh yeah,
nobody really showed up and themed hard.
That's the worst.
And as Tom and Brian and I are looking at each other, knowing how much effort we have had to put in to get HMGs, or how much effort we put in and not get them. Yeah.
You just never know. You come to a race, and sometimes you're like, I'm taking off this race, and then you're oh, that's sad.
It was a layup. But this team has been around for several years. They were newbies, like in one of my first Road America races, with a basically stock 1.6 Miata. And last year we gave them a Bob Ross penalty for something. And they're the kind of people that when they got the Bob Ross penalty, they took their time and did a really good job, and they're good at it. You know the kind. So, excuse me, this year they leaned into it. They did a lot more of their own Bob Rosses on the car. They were doing it during BS inspection down in the parade. Like after the stencil got put on the car, they even painted a little like frame around it and happy trees and things, right? They wore the wigs all weekend, never stopped. They kept coming around and giving stuff out. Like they give out happy little beers after Saturday's race. They brought Midwest, they called them funeral sandwiches, is apparently a thing in the Midwest. Like, so they brought sandwiches.
Yeah, it's ham and mayo on a brooch and roll.
Dinner rolls, basically, right? Yeah. So that's a thing.
I learned that from Eric.
They brought those, and it was warm, right? So they were friendly. They stayed in character. They gave stuff away. They tried hard all weekend. They painted their car more. So
it does sound like okay, but like
it was fine, and I'm glad they did. And they're the only ones that did. So hey, they walked away with the HMG trophy. Show me the bodies racing.
Well done. $1,000
Well, they
Ladies
gave
and
that to
gentlemen.
Lemons of Love.
Oh,
So,
that's
Yeah.
great. That's
yeah,
nice of them.
the captain of the team is a young lady, and she's like, yeah, give it to Lemons of Love. She holds up the trophy. He's like, this is all I want.
I mean, legit.
She's like, you're not getting this from me. They were cute too because they were on our side of the street when we were doing BS, and they painted and if you have that picture that says judges only, that the one that you saw, which is not a dating site, judgesonly.com, but they
Yet it's not a judging
yeah.
site, dating site. Yet.
As far
Patent
as
pending.
you know.
patent pending. No. Eric actually painted that one. And then I put the stencil across the top because that's how you do it. And we were 2 cars away. We'd already classed them. And I looked back, they were still painting on the car. Like we weren't watching anymore and they're still doing it. And they stayed in the wig. So that was the best effort, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Index of Affluency. I mean, there was a clear favorite from the start of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you win an IOE? Well, you start with a car that has no business being on a racetrack. Preferably something old. Something that looks appropriately terrible out there. If you can find something that has a suspension designed by a man with a block of wood and a slide rule, that helps, right? Something you can fix with a hammer. I don't think they brought any spare parts, frankly. It even has a flathead engine. So the 1960 Studebaker Lark of Shop Dog Racing, initially its lap times were in the 5-minute range. Just for reference, the fast lap of the weekend was like a 2:45.
That's not good.
So they were almost.
Whoa.
It is if you're trying to get IOE.
Well, sometimes but the speed creep on that is not always great.
Well, they were just hang along the inside and just chug their way around. I mean, you're not spinning this flathead over 4,000 RPM. It's a 3-speed on the tree, but they had to move the entire powertrain back 2 inches because it didn't have a drive shaft when they got it. And they had a pile of drive shafts in a shop near them. They got the one that was closest, and then apparently it was 2 inches too short. So rather than just have a drive shaft lengthened by 2 inches, which is like not a big deal. No, they moved the whole powertrain back 2 inches.
See, sometimes
does.
maybe the drive, it's not the length of the drive shaft. Maybe your power plant's just in the wrong place. Just get off my back, all right?
Mid-engine
Average drive shaft.
supercar.
It's a perfectly average drive shaft.
That's
the
right.
power plant's wrong.
As a result, on the tree shifter wouldn't work anymore, and those have 2 rods in them. So those were just in the center tunnel, and they welded some extra rods and like adjustable wrenches to them. So every shift involved moving 2 different levers to get it to shift. Unfortunately, it's only a 3-speed. So once you got it in the third, you just left it there. And
you hope that you didn't have to slow down. Right. You're like,
well, they were
speed,
getting their fast laps down to like the 427 range. And then they started to get the oil pressure light flickering on. So I'm talking to them like, well, you guys are going fast enough. You might be getting some slosh going on. Like, how high do you have the oil? It's like, well, we have it on the full mark. I said, we'll put more in. And so they dumped a quart of Lucas in there. And like, well, we'll just slow down a little bit and try that. And I was talking to them too, saying, look, this doesn't need much oil pressure. The only bits that need oil are in the crankcase. You got the crank and the rods and things and the cams, but it's a flathead. It's all there. There's no oil pressure needed. It's not going anywhere. So just like put a bunch in, let it splash around, and it'll probably be just fine. It's not like it's working that hard.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's what they did. And they basically just kept going. I don't think they made any notable repairs all weekend on this thing, and just drove around and around and around very slowly, but it beat a whole bunch of cars by doing that. So
yeah, they did their driver changes in their paddock. They were remarkably unconcerned. And it was a rookie team. Like a rookie team shows up with a Studebaker and then just drives all weekend. Yeah. Take our trophy.
Right? Easy answer.
Walk away with it 100%.
Run away with it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Second place was a Scion XA that if the Studebaker had broken, this would have gotten it. This was like a bone stock XA, again, rookie team. And terrible 100 horsepower, slow little hatchback on the longest straight in the country. And this thing just kept running and like totally finished mid-pack in this terrible, miserable little hatchback. So two great rookie teams bringing something slow and terrible, and just one was way more slow and terrible than the other, but just kept working. So well done.
I was very excited when the Studebaker got up to 69th place because I am 12 years old. So.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, there were a bunch of fun stories over the weekend. The best one, there's a team, they have 2 triumphs that are both.
Ryan, hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Let's get into that when we get into the main topic, which is more about what happened.
I'll sit quietly with my hands folded.
Okay, we're ready to move on.
Yes.
So then, Chrissy, what time is it?
Well, do you want me to take over? I mean, you probably were doing a fine job.
You're here, so
This is our favorite time.
All right. Well, right after we posted our Road America preview on YouTube, Tyler Stank said, in most cars, the 3.5 straight is actually the fastest part of the track. The hill from 14 to 1 is too much for slower cars to maintain speed and even hinders high-power cars. But the downhill between 3 and 5 makes anything go fast, and the straight is very nearly as long as 14 to 1. I don't think we even hit 90 before T1, but could occasionally break 100 just before braking for turn 5. Turn 1 is indeed a lot faster than it looks, though, and I think on a good lap, I didn't even have to downshift from 4th. He added, also having ridden the track on a bicycle, I can promise that while the grade varies, it's uphill all the way from 12 to just before 1. But really, the track elevation only changes direction 3 times. It's downhill 1 to 5, uphill 5 to 6, downhill 6 to 12, and then uphill 12 to 1.
Okay. And on the gram, Charlie P said, I couldn't help but notice Chrissy's lack of input during the virtual track walk. Has Chrissy not driven Road America yet? And if so, why not? Genuinely curious here because I thought she said she had. To answer your question, yes, I have. I've only done 3 laps. I have done 1 very long lap, probably on a Razor scooter. Yes. Yep. 1 lap on a Razor scooter and 3 very fast laps. And then I loaded my car up and then we drove to the Brat stop. Or we did burnouts.
With the autocross and the drag race.
Yeah, didn't drag race. Anyway, the only time I've driven it is at 1 lap of America. So I have not driven it for a Lemons race or anything like that. So, yep. That was in 2016. That's when we went to.
We have telemetry of Chrissy going 142 down the main street.
We have a snapshot. Dang. Yep. In the CLS 63.
On the scooter?
Uphill
on a Razor scooter.
I mean, I've seen her in a wagon. I've seen her in a wagon in Connecticut. It's going at a similar speed.
I feel like I might have done the same going down the octopus in the what was it?
The
sinkhole in NCM. That's when I had the death wobble. So I was probably going as fast as the
just run really fast as soon as you hit the ground kind of moment. See what happens.
And it worked.
Please keep up.
It worked. Keep up. Yeah, right. And I had 2 choices, and one was running fast, and that was going to be the better choice, and that's what I did. So anyway, yes, I did not comment because it's been a long. 2016 was the last time I drove Road America in a very different car, so had little to offer. So I apologize. I was here, I was around, I was listening, but I haven't driven it. Anyway, Ashley D quotes our promo with veteran chaos merchants. LOL. Let the rubber dung throwing begin. Ooh, might have to bring that with us to
veteran chaos merchants might be like the tagline like next month.
It's quite a compliment, I'd say.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the dong might have to be in our carry-on for
I'm thinking it might. So. Yeah, we probably need to go.
Who's carry-on?
Chris's, duh.
Yes, that's got to be in Chris's.
But in Chrissy's the last questions. If it's Chris's, they'll be like, I don't want to know.
Excuse me, sir. Is this yours? Oh, right? No.
How dirty that thing is.
Right. And if they looked at it, they're going to be like, oh no, because no one should be
filthy
touching it, let alone
using it. Has like 10 years of Lemons races on it.
Oh, stained would be a compliment.
That thing could tell stories.
I wish it had a GoPro on it. That would have been amazing.
No, you don't.
I think I do. And then I think it'd be amazing. Okay, it's main topic time. Let's go. Tell us all the stories.
Yep. So Brian and I had the weekend there. We already told you about what happened in the end, but let's talk about the weekend as it went. Thursday, I flew out with Tom Webb. We were on the same flight, so I picked him up, went to the airport, no problems, get through, fly to Chicago. Everything seemed great until we're coming in for our landing at O'Hare, and we're getting down. We get to the flare. I'm on the window seat. Once we flare, the float on the flare wasn't right. Like it went down and then it floated back up a little bit and then kind of hung there and then there was a little crosswind and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is going to be interesting. And that's when the throttle's throttled back up and we went around. And I haven't had a go around in a commercial flight on a landing ever.
Wow.
Right. I've done them myself, but hey, I think the pilot made the right call. I think there was either some wind shear because it was a windy day, or there was a 747 that had taken off before we landed. I think there might have been some wake turbulence from the 747, one of the two. So anyway, we went around, but that takes an extra half an hour to go out, back around, out into the lake and back into the pattern and you're not landing at your local GA airport here. So this is O'Hare. So anyway, finally land, get to the gate, and they say, oh, by the way, everyone stay in your seats. We've got someone back in the galley who's having a medical emergency. We're waiting for the paramedics. And then, of course, people are the worst. You get people like, my connecting flight leaves in 10 minutes. Like standing in the aisles, even the other side. But one of the flight attendants used their mom voice. They were good. And then they're like, oh, and thank you for flying United. And everyone laughed and laughed. Right. It was great. So
get back in your seat. Thank you for flying United.
Exactly. But they did
Don't let our customers die.
They said, all right.
Stevie, if you do not get back in the seat right now, I will tan your hide.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, we're going to do this in a controlled way. We'll let some people off in batches so that when the paramedics come, they can still get to the back of the plane. Okay. So they let off first class. Okay. All right. Then back to row 15. And I was in row 15. So I was like, they're like, all right, paramedics are here as I am getting out of my seat. It's like, all right, quick, run. So I run out of the plane. And then the paramedics go in. And it's a while before Tom gets out. Anyway, so that took us a really long by the time we're off the plane, it was way later than we should have been because of the go around and the medical emergency. Anyway, get our rental car. I don't know if we have time. We don't have time for a guest of rental. We went to Alamo. We didn't get to pick it. Oh, not really. We got a Chevy Equinox. It was adequate. It was better than the Mitsubishi Outlander or Nissan Rogues that were parked next to it. So
yes,
it's fine. Yeah. And then we proceeded to drive up from Chicago, which is a little more than 2 hours. And we made a quick stop at Walmart to get breakfast things. And then Kim called and was mad at us that we weren't there for load. And we're like we left the rental car place at 3:00 because of all the things, the problems. Like we're going as fast.
Someone would have died on the plane.
Right. Anyway, so whatever. We got there. They also basically loaded everybody in because there's only 99 cars in this race, not 144 that we had last year. So that changed the dynamic of the race in entirely many ways. So then we went back to the Airbnb, had a nice geodesic dome of an Airbnb that was pretty cool.
By the way, Brian's Facebook is excellent. It has provided all of these contextual photos.
Yes. Yeah, so we hung out, had some old fashions, played video games because there were several arcade consoles in the basement. They were all semi-broken, but whatever, gave them a try, and waited for Brian to show up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was leaving Cincinnati, loaded on the plane. We pushed away from the gate, and then the pilot said, "There's a ground stop in Chicago. They're turning us back to the gate." Apparently, a storm came in. Suddenly, must have been after you landed, and they turned us back. Well, they said it's going to be 2 hours before they'll give us clearance to take off again, so you can either stay on the plane or you can disembark. So a bunch of people disembarked. I stayed on, watched a movie. 2 hours pass. They start loading the plane back up. We push away from the gate again, and they're like, they just called and said it's going to be another 30 minutes. But the pilot was he explained all the things. He's like, listen, we're close to Chicago and Cincinnati. Everything that gets priority is further out. International flights are further away. Well, Colin, who is new to tech in Lemons, I was supposed to be his ride. He was flying out of Baltimore. So he also was affected by the ground stop. I was supposed to land 90 minutes before him. Ultimately, we landed at the exact same time, but several hours later. And then when we did land, they stopped us again because there were so many planes incoming that we sat on the tarmac for another like 45 minutes. So by the time I got the rental car and dropped Colin off where he was staying and got to the geodesic dome, it was like 1:30 in the morning, I think. But Chris was nice enough to stay up and let me know what was happening. He's like, this is what we're doing in the morning. Here's where we're going. This is your room. Good night. And I was like, you angel. So.
Yep. Friday was a boring day for the judges because, at least initially, because tech is going on. Tech went pretty smoothly. They had more tech inspectors. They were going through it well. We never really had a line. I was out directing traffic. Brian was being kind of a wandering jackass minstrel, which was right up his alley.
Yeah, I'm overqualified.
Yeah. We did some pre-classing, as one does, with the notes, and just kind of hung out, took a good look at some of the cars. Tom was getting heavily involved in tech because I think he's about to get signed off to be a tech inspector, so that's good. So he was working with Dale and Bradgeman and David, so that was good. But Brian, I was basically just standing in a parking lot telling people to go around and get in line and keep the fire lane clear. And
by the way, happy birthday, David.
Yeah,
I think today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, David Watkins. It's today, I think.
Yeah, I think it's today. He's totally listening, by the way.
Yeah. Anything else happened on Friday before we decided to head back to town, Brian?
Yeah, the Wandering Minstrel thing was fun because Eric's like, we should bring guitars and then play the songs. And I don't know if you know Pat Finnerty at all. He's got a YouTube channel that it's like Why This Song Sucks. And he talks about, I think, Machine Gun Kelly and Jelly Roll did a song called The Lonely Road, which is basically Country Roads by John Denver with new words. And Pat Finnerty, he's like, you don't mess with it's one of the effing songs. You don't mess with the effing songs. And Country Roads is one of the effing songs. And then he has a list of them. And so Eric's like, we should just go around all day playing the effing songs. And so he bought a big song book, but then I wound up playing and he just was laughing at me playing all day. So that was the Wandering Minstrel jackassery, making up words to Freebird like, if you spin out tomorrow, you'll see us in penalty. You know, it's good stuff.
Proper.
Yeah, that was good.
And then off to the parade.
Yeah, so we went down to center of town, brought our stuff with us. Siebken's opened at 4, so we hopped into Siebken's, had a couple beverages. Basically the 4 judges plus Stobbs, who was doing media. So there's
the pre-party's the best there,
funny. Right? Yeah.
Before it gets just so stupid that you can't even walk in it.
Yeah.
It's
well, that group of judges with Stobbs is guaranteed
a lot.
Time. Yeah. So.
What does Chrissy like to say when things get, oh, good, oh my, or oh no,
no,
oh no?
Oh, that's Chris, not me.
That was Chris.
Oh no, that's a Chris line, not me.
So then 5 o'clock comes and we're out. We're in our robes. We're ready to go. We got our wagons. We got our stencils. We're set. And cars show up. Everyone gets settled in, and we split up. It was me and Tom and Brian and Eric. And we start working our way down the rows. And this year, it was lovely. The weather was very nice on Friday. Friday was probably the best day. It was sunny. It was warm. It was great.
Like not too warm?
No, not too warm. Like long sleeve t-shirt kind of warm. So perfect. And this year, with only 99 cars, we actually got to spend time with the people.
Jelly.
Instead of just kind of running down the row, class. No. Like, hi, what's going on? What are you doing this week? Like, how's your weekend going to go? Like, just actually being able to chat with people. And that was lovely. And we still finished up before it was dark because for those that have been there, the line didn't get around the third corner. Like we went through it down the main interstate, took the left.
What?
But we didn't take the second left to go back up the other block. That's how few cars there were, because it's a third less than last year. So we had lots of time to chat and things. The bribes were a little lacking this year. Maybe the fact that it was a third less cars were like, we weren't drowning in spotted cow and
really
only one bag of cheese curds.
Oh, did you have to go buy more?
No, we just kind of made that bag last for the weekend. You know, not all that much sausage either. I was disappointed the guys with the Oldsmobile Cutlass that makes their own sausages were not there this year, because those are the best. But people had a good attitude. No one hassled us too much. We again chatted with everybody. It was nice. I enjoyed our side of the street. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, our side was pretty good. Yeah, that was one of the groups. They had a big bratwurst on the top of their car, which you can kind of see behind their heads. But I thought getting a katana was a pretty good bribe. I don't know what you're talking about. I've got a sword now.
Yeah, once he brought 3 swords for us. So
wow.
But all of us flew.
Yeah,
with carry-ons. So Tom and my swords are in the back of Quincy's van waiting to get back here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and Brian's
That's one way
sword
to
went
get
with
it home.
someone else to get back to Ohio.
Yeah. So it was weird. I was walking around and I recognized the face, but I was like, this face does not go with this car. But I was like, and it took me a second, but Team 513 Non Sequitur, they drive a BMW. They're based out of Cincinnati. I've actually been to their shop.
They were at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, it's like, 3 Naps and a Miller, because their last name's Knapp, and then the one guy, Miller. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's 3 Naps and a Miller, but it'd be better to have 3 Millers than a Nap, which is a great dad joke, and I applaud them. But the Miller was there racing with another team, and I'm like, wait, don't you live in Dayton? He's like, yeah. I was like, can you take this, and I'll come get it from you? And he goes, I'll do you one better. I'll take it to the shop in Cincinnati, and you can get it there. And I was like, hot diggity dang. So I've got a katana. And I also got it's not Lego, but it's a brick set that is the Planet Express ship from Futurama. So I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I can't wait to take that one home. Because I'm not home yet. It was good. Yeah. We, our side, it was pretty quick. I remember Kim showed up partway through and she's eating ice cream with Rich. And I was like, where'd you get the ice cream? She's like, oh, there's a shop there. If you can get done before 9. We were already 2/3 of the way through and it was like 7. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to be done before 9. And so, yeah, we finished it off before dark and some of us snuck down and got ice cream and it was
proper.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm. And a kind of cool thing I thought was cool is at the end of the night, we're ready to go. All the cars are off. I got the word, all right, get everybody going. So I walked down the middle of the row saying, fire them up. And as every single car comes to life, lights, engines, things going down the row as you walk down it, that was pretty cool. So
I have a video of me walking behind you doing that. I should send that to you. It was it made me happy. Yeah. It was the interesting, there was some locals walking through asking what was happening because I had taken the Road America logo to make the bribe stencil, and I took the R out and put in a $sign, and it was Bribed America. And the guy's like, is this some comment on the racetrack? And I'm like, oh, no, God, no. He's like, we are absolutely corrupt and we'll take bribes. This is a comment on us. And he's like, oh, okay. It's like, so you like the racetrack? We love the racetrack. It's got nothing to do with them.
Yep. All right, Saturday.
All right, so Saturday, I say Saturday. Bright and early.
Drivers meeting at 9. We got there at 8, did some last minute texts for those who didn't make it down to the parade for various reasons that were some of them better than others.
Good reasons?
Mix.
Really?
Yeah. One guy just like, well, I want to go home and feed my dog.
What? Oh, no, that's not great.
Bring
your dog.
And here's and it's not that it's not a good excuse because you had to go feed your dog. You have to go feed your dog. It's a terrible excuse because Lemons is pro dog.
Bring
the dog.
I mean, unless the dog is not sufficient to be in that kind of environment. I'm sure that happens.
Probably want the dog there more than we want him there.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure Lemons could be prescribed for dogs that are having trouble adjusting. Because the dog would be like, oh, wait, every one of these humans are nice and 3 out of 4 of them have food. Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't need to be, Michael K is a, walking testament to what lemons can do for a dog's demeanor.
Who let this homeless man into the racetrack?
Oh, never mind. He has a dog. We're good.
with the giant dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually sent me a picture of the new dog that he's getting socialized to bring to the Lemons races, and I showed it to my wife last night and got a oh. So yeah.
Yep. Drivers meeting went fine, no problem. Rookie meeting fine. Started to get everybody lined up for the 10 o'clock start. They've increased the size of the false grid there this year. It's huge now. There's lots of room for everybody.
Oh wow.
I did catch one team on cheaty tires.
Just one? Just one?
Just one. It's Midwest, so that's not usually that's about what you get. In Midwest.
Shame.
Yep.
Shame.
A Mini that had come through Tech that morning.
Swap tires?
Swap tires between Tech that morning and going out. They put on some Goodyear Eagle RS slicks.
Slicks.
What'd you do?
Give
me the story. Give me the deets.
No, I mean, I said, go back to penalty. Talk to Eric and tell him that you've done screwed up with your tires.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, I kept checking every time the cars were around on the weekend. Never found anyone else, but I always find one every race. In Texas, there were a bunch.
Stop doing that. No one has ever won because they had cheaty tires.
No, never.
But many have lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Saturday started. Brian, how do you think Saturday went?
I think it was reasonably uneventful. Everybody. It was interesting with as much track as there is and how much room there was. I think attrition was the biggest factor because we started the day with 99 cars, but only 92 went on track, and by the end of the day, it was like in the 60s or something. It's just like there weren't a ton that just kept going and going. So it was pretty chill. We didn't have a lot of penalties. We just had the one team that doubled up on us that got saran wrapped and puzzles. So we didn't get to do as much fun stuff as we had hoped because it was
disappointing.
That's the great curse of the Midwest is you just don't get a lot of egregious offenders.
Last year and the year before, or 2 years before that when I've been there, we've had plenty of egregious offenders, and we've been able to have lots and lots of good themes.
And we had lines out the door. Like we were so busy last year, right?
Yeah. Every year has been like a pileup coming into 5. Not this year.
So no issues, no black flag. All
it was not
on Saturday.
It was clean-ish. There was not even a full course yellow on Saturday.
Yeah,
no red.
What? Not even full course yellow to take lunch out to the corner.
Full course yellow.
I literally asked you. I was like, "Have you had a red?" And he was like, "No," because I have one.
We were getting legitimately bored and sad that we didn't have. And no one couldn't even do half the penalties. Like I had this American Motors trivia quiz on the iPad and we all took it. And I was like,
here, we'll have everybody take this quiz. We'll have a leaderboard. Won't that be fun?
Hold on, Chris, whoa.
Sorry, my microphone.
I thought you did that on purpose.
Whoa.
Me too. He's got something that makes him sound like Tim. Yeah.
I'm going to make my leaderboard.
Yeah. Anyway, we were going to have a leaderboard. It was going to be fun. And no, we didn't have enough people coming to do it, to even bother with it. So we barely did any of our penalties. It was so sad that it was so clean. But
well, and Brian, you remember it was exactly like that at Mid Ohio. Oh no. Oh, yeah, sorry, you weren't there.
He's turned that up all the way too. That's 211. Good. So yeah, that was it Saturday. It was clean and calm and quiet and good for you. So no, we didn't have to have a Sunday drivers meeting. We had a lovely potluck that was Jill from
who hosted
her 60th birthday.
Lemons of Love. Yeah,
they were the host. That.
Oh, nice.
I definitely had at least one person say to me, it was more than one. Chrissy's better at this.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice to you. It's nice to hear from me.
Yeah.
Well, Jersey, wait for it. It's gonna
Maybe.
happen. It's gonna be a lot.
And they will wait for it because they'll be 10 minutes early with no potato salad. They will stand outside. The staff will go first.
We'll see.
And they'll get binged upside the head with a clipboard.
I mean, the group that's right. I don't want to derail. Sorry, Road America. Yes.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Then we went back to the dome and like played pool with the terrible cues that they have, and just hung out and watched some bullshit YouTube and had a lot of laughs. Talked some silly themes, and yeah, I think Brian's permanently stuck now.
Brian, are you okay?
Oh, there he's back. Okay.
No, apparently I'm gigablasting. Yeah.
The look on your face when you froze was great.
Oh no, I don't want to know. Oh,
It
no.
just looked like you had eaten a lot of cheese and sausage over the weekend, dealing with the after effects.
Yeah.
Did do. Yep, there was Dunning-Kruger showed up late. That we had two teams show up really late on Saturday. That was the other thing. The one team that brings the two Firebirds, that they have like a sponsor.
HP tuners.
Yeah, the HP tuners. They showed up late with those, and they're like, we're just here to turn laps and see if we get some data on some stuff we've done to the car. It's like, okay. And then Dunning-Kruger showed up like at the end of Saturday, and they were exhausted, which they've done more than once, where they show up late and they've been working for 3 straight days on cars. But this time they had an exciting thing where the lady of the team they're expecting their first child. So she showed up very pregnant. And then the husband, who was exhausted and had been working on the car for 2 days, set up karaoke in the middle of the potluck and then just started singing. It was kind of funny.
They apparently couldn't get the janky hydraulic lift on the back of their janky semi-trailer to work enough to get the cars out. So they had to spend quite a lot of time on Saturday doing that.
Oh.
Right.
And then the trailer brakes broke.
Out.
Yeah.
Getting the cars out is easy. Getting them in is hard.
Well, apparently getting them out was hard this time.
Gravity is easy.
Depends on how far you want to drop.
You can get the car out. It may not be usable, but the car is coming out.
It's coming out.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you just unhook it and floor the tow vehicle.
Hold my bear.
That's right. Yep.
Sunday, more of the same. Like the attrition level Sunday was, we were just bored hanging out. Like we were like singing karaoke with this janky karaoke setup someone gave us.
So
even Dale sang the karaoke.
You had one crew get the 3 in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday, how many 3 Pete's did you get?
Like 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And about the same on Sunday.
Yeah.
Out of 90 cars.
Yeah.
Well done, Midwest.
By Sunday, by midday Sunday, there were only about 50 cars still running.
Yeah.
And you could go over to where that Slozuki was, and Eric had the pan. At the end of the day, it was them and nobody around them because so many people had broken
and left. Not just broken, but left.
Yeah. Wow. There were probably at most 50 cars that finished that race.
Yeah.
The level of attrition was staggering.
Well, we warned them that track's going to eat stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Sunday was frankly boring. The only thing that happened of any excitement was at about half an hour into the race, a Taurus SHO that had bagpipes that had an actual air compressor running the bagpipes. It was fun. They apparently lost their brakes coming into Canada Corner, turn 12, and went straight off with no stopping attempt and into the tire wall and up on the tire wall. The tire wall did its job. Yeah, guy was fine. Tire wall did its job. It dissipated the energy, slowed the car down slowly. Guy was okay.
All right, real quick, everyone just freeze because I've got to go find a YouTube video of just bagpipes making a compression sound.
Yeah. I think Eric did say, did the bagpipes make a sad noise when it crashed?
And he goes, I probably shouldn't
say that. Yeah. Also, what was it? Eric put in the chat, not other Eric, not Rude. He put the thing from So I Married an Axe Murderer. A paper is down. I repeat, a paper is down. It was like, yes.
Yeah. So we had a black flag all for that. We had red and then black flag all while they rebuilt the tire wall. But that car didn't look that bad. The guy was okay. Everyone behaved in the black flag all. There were no, real problems. It was organized. It helps that their pit lane at Road America is half a mile long, so it's easy.
And there's 40 cars left.
Right, yeah. Exactly. It's easy to stack everybody up in there.
Yeah.
But Sunday was legit boring.
There was, we had on deck, since it was Mother's Day, where we're going to make somebody either call our moms or their moms if they got too many, and apocalyptic racing, with Brent and Mark Johns, or John Mark, as his hospital name was known. If everybody knows the incident where he lost his teeth on the one wheel. But Mark got the third black flag for apocalyptic racing. And I'm like, is your mother still with us? And he said, yes. And I'm like, do you have your phone? And he went to his pit and he came back and he was still in the car and he put his mom on speaker and he's like, hi, Mom. And she's like, hello, son. And it was adorable because he's like, I have to call because I spun my race car out and I'm a bad driver. And she went, I forgive you, honey. And it was like, well, now I can't be mad at him. That's
so cute. We were going to have a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But nobody came in. So.
Call your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cute, though. So.
Yep. And award ceremony was easy. Fine, no problems. And right after that, Tom and I got in the car and took off to Chicago.
Yeah, but there was something else at the awards. So since it's Jill's 60th birthday and they were raising money for Lemons of Love, they had a raffle, but also Jill had asked me to make a piece of custom artwork. And it's in that
lovely.
Yeah, and it's it looks like a Le Mans poster, except it says, 24 hours of lemons in French. And it says 60 years of Jill in French. And on the track is Johann's Malort themed race car. And then, the sun rising in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So I did that as a digital painting and I was going to paint it, but I didn't have enough time to paint it. So I had it printed on canvas and we did an auction right before the award ceremony. And it raised another $450 for Lemons of Love, which is great.
That is awesome.
It's also the most expensive art I've ever sold. But the beauty of it is that Jill, even though there were a third less cars, they raised the same and probably more money than they did last year. So last year they broke $10,000 for Lemons of Love, which meant they could send out 100 care packages. Jill had to leave before the race was over, and they already had 100 boxed up to go to the local hospitals there in, I think, St. Paul or wherever she was going.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they broke 100,000 again. So the Just Shows Lemons racers are freaking awesome and great people. So
Yep.
And it went to a guy named Brian that was running with Liz and the Trash Can, not Trash Can't team in their Subarus. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was about it.
That was it.
It was a completely uneventful race that needed more cars and more theming, but glad nobody had any injuries or real problems or
except for the thing that I was saying before that you said wait for main topic time. There were the two TR7s that were Buick powered. So the V6 Buick powers, identical cars, same team, same engine setup, but one dropped a cylinder. And so they just pulled everything out of that cylinder, bumped up the compression and sent it. It ran better and finished better than the one with all 6 cylinders. So I think it's just it's a weight savings issue at this point. It's like, just drop a cylinder on the other one. And the guy goes, we're thinking of making it a 4-cylinder. It's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they pulled the pusher rods and the spark plug and said, yeah, okay, let's see how long it lasts.
All weekend.
And it beat their other car. So, yeah. That was a good one.
That was fun.
All right.
And travel home was okay?
Yeah, I flew to California, so I'm out here. I went down to Chicago, and Joe Spears and I had a room for the night, and then I had a very early flight out to California, and I'm on vacation, so life is good.
Yeah, Tom and I had a late flight out of Chicago. Our flight left at 9:50, got into Denver at 11:50, and I was home at 1:30 to crash.
You didn't hit anybody on the runway when you landed, did you?
No, we didn't. And hey, the Range Rover started, and after sitting in parking with a British car, you never know.
That was Frontier, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was the plane's fault.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't the plane's fault. Still
it was
DIA.
United.
So no, it was the Frontier.
It was Frontier.
Absolutely.
Which makes sense.
It would have been Spirit, but they're out of business.
Yep.
Oh.
Womp womp.
Every plane just sells Halloween things now.
Spirit Halloween.
All right. And that's it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me play in your sandbox. It's good to see y'all.
So,
Brian.
Brian, for
Yes.
those that are keeping score, you're building your race car. When can we expect to see you as a racer next?
Our plan is to come to NCM. We're going to come race the Chevette at the Corvette Museum, and there will be a theme to align with that. Anyone here judging NCM? Do you, anybody
Maybe.
know? Oh,
Maybe.
that will make bribes easier.
Hopefully, but the schedule's a challenge.
Fair enough. Bummer. Yeah,
When is NCM?
I think it's September.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm double
With
tapped
a
in
new
September.
race in October, that makes things really tricky.
Yes, that we're having the same issue because I did have a conversation with Mr. Rude. And I was like, "With the diesel Chevette?" He's like, "Yes, the diesel Chevette." And I was like, "Now, how do we get it from Ohio to California for one day? That is a lot of effort for."
Well, just so you know, Hooked on Driving has got a track day Saturday and Sunday at Laguna before the Lemons race. I may or may not
could
have
be
a
3
campsite.
days.
I may or may not have a campsite from Saturday to Tuesday already reserved at Laguna. And I've already signed up to coach at Hooked on Driving both of those days. And there may or may not be more people in my neighborhood that have also signed up to do Hooked on Driving.
Oh, nice.
And have reserved camping spots. So maybe not. Maybe don't come for one day.
Bring your warm clothes because you have to help ferry a convertible.
Oh,
yeah. And we don't care if we don't get in on Monday. Like we're in. Like I'm there anyway.
Yeah. I kind of want to just show up at whether I have a car or not.
100%.
Heckle. We're just going to sit up on the corkscrew and heckle.
Yeah.
It'll be a very, very bad idea for them to not put us in the race because that just gives me more time to be a pain in the
now
ass.
we don't have to stay sober.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
When's your next judging event?
I think it's New Hampshire, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'd have to double check. I know I'm doing New Hampshire. I know I'm doing Texas, but I don't know which is when. So it's on my big calendar at home.
I believe Texas is in November. Yes.
And New Hampshire's October.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always around Halloween.
Yeah, I think I've got a bit of a gap betwixt them, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you want to race? Do you want to race the 25-hour?
Yeah. What?
In a couple weeks?
I did want to do butt stuff with you guys.
Send me a text. No, 25-hour in like a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk.
Like 13 days from now.
13 days, exactly. Yeah,
You're already in
I don't need to work.
California. Just stay.
Yeah, I'll just stay.
Just stay.
I'm going to work remote. We don't do that. Don't care. I can. Bye. Yeah, I need to have somebody walk around with a camera on the job site and just let me know how everything's going. So it'll be fine.
AI is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just have someone go down to the Home Depot, hand a guy a phone.
Yeah.
Right? Just walk around with this.
Yeah.
This phone, film everything. Yeah.
See.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Senior trainers is no bueno.
Class B?
It's no bueno.
What was that we said all weekend, Chris? Casual racism. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Jeez. Schindler
That's
and the
not
Bandit.
racism. That's elitism. There's a difference.
Way different.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Way different. Parallel, but different.
Yeah. Different kind of bad. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Well, we'll see everybody next week.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks,
B-Train, good to see you, man.
I know Chrissy's already left. Thanks, Chrissy, for stopping in.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, as always, thank you all for listening. We, I think we have like 2 potential topics next week. Any idea? Yeah. We'll figure one out.
We have more idea than we usually do.
We have things planned.
We got things in the doings afoot.
Okay.
All right,
bye, everybody.
Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, or even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up, unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels moving.